I want to point out that earlier when I just glanced and saw that photo, I thought that it was going to be Floby 1 Kenobi. Flo from the Progressive commercials dressed as a Jedi.
Hello everyone, welcome to another sweet and tasty Halloween, our first Halloween episode of Tank Talks. You can't come back to something you were never at. Welcome back to Tank Talks in general, this being our first Halloween themed episode, as Halloween is right around the corner.
It is.
Brandon, have you been encountered by any spooks?
Any spooky boys?
Any spooky boys? Because the internet is just packed with them.
There are a lot of them.
Them spooky boys playing their trumpets and doing the doots.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not what we're talking about today. What are we doing today, Brandon?
We're going to be talking about costumes.
The masks we wear.
Mm-hmm.
What about costumes? I know I've got some notes here.
I got some notes
But why don't
too,
you tell
Keith.
me about your notes?
Well, Keith, my notes, what I did is I looked up and I forgot to write down the article. So
Brandon,
I'm going to look up the
why
article.
would you forget to write down the article?
It's from justjared.com.
We are doing a serious television program.
We can trust Jared.
I trust Jared. I did not actually go to Jared when I purchased Elizabeth's ring. Brandon, I'm going to be honest with you.
Yes.
I'm not honest. I'm going to ask you a question.
Yes.
Are you going to mention that today's my birthday, or shall I have to do it myself?
Oh, you're going to have to do that.
Okay. Today's my birthday. Happy birthday to me.
But not when they watch this.
Okay.
It will not be your birthday.
That's true. That's true, but it's when we're recording it.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess that's probably why you weren't mentioning it.
Listen, I'm a man of the people, so I'm living on their time.
True. Now I feel bad for mentioning it.
There you go.
It's my birthday.
Your present. There's a little bit of shame.
It's my birthday and I'm full of shame. Okay, let's talk about it.
This article was most Googled Halloween costumes broken down by state. So I poured through the data, and by that I mean I looked up every state. And there was some stuff that I wasn't surprised about. There's a lot of Wonder Woman.
Yeah, of course.
By state.
She's a strong, independent woman.
There's a lot of Harley Quinn. I feel like if I had a daughter, wouldn't want her to dress up as Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
But I could understand both of them because I think you have, like, women who want to be them. You have guys who want their girlfriend or wife to dress up as them.
I thought you were going to say you have guys who want to be them.
And then you have
male Harley Quinns out there.
Then you have some guys that they just like to look up, like, what those characters look like. So going into this list, that's what I thought.
Right, okay,
you have
gotcha,
a mixture of people who want to be this and people who just think, you know what sets my stove.
Oh, you're talking about what gets their stove burning,
Gets the blender spinning.
You're talking about what? Oh man, that Harley Quinn she really gets me on a puree cycle.
So going through this list, I thought it was interesting to put that type of filter like on all of this.
Of course. So what did you tell me about your findings?
Alaska,
researcher.
The most Googled one is ninja. So apparently everyone in Alaska is a 12-year-old boy.
Yeah, everyone in Alaska is still stuck in the 90s when we were all ninjas.
And then in Indiana, dinosaur was the one they looked up. And like maybe it was for like the T-Rex costume that people go around as.
Maybe so.
But it wasn't even like T-Rex costume, it was just dinosaurs. Like,
dinosaur.
Just one dinosaur.
My whole thing is like I can't imagine searching for a dinosaur costume and not knowing what kind of dinosaur costume you're looking at. Like T-Rex, that's going to stand on two legs, but Stegosaurus.
Jordan would be very upset if she knew that people were just going into it and saying, "Oh, a dinosaur is a dinosaur." She would.
She loves
go
dinosaurs?
Slap the sandwich out of their hand.
You know anybody who says something like that is eating a sandwich 24/7.
In Maine, they just typed superhero.
You would think lobster.
So yeah, so it's not even. Once again, they didn't go into it like I would accept Batman, Superman. I would even accept like, you know what? I don't know which one I want to be. Yeah, but like I know that I'm a Marvel guy or I'm a DC girl. But it's just superheroes. Just
that's lazy.
It's a superhero.
You know what I hope about those people? I hope they didn't find a costume to wear.
And then in Mississippi, it was mouse. So I don't know if there's just I don't know if that's like the state animal, maybe the Mississippi mouse.
Maybe
That's like some folklore.
They have the
from Mississippi.
They have the alliteration in Mississippi mouse. I don't know if Mississippi is home to a lot of mice, or maybe
they've never seen one, so they just searched this to find out what it would look like. Maybe it's research being done in Mississippi where people are wondering if you fused a human with a mouse, what would it look like? And Party City is where they're finding all of their evidence.
I was thinking that they had an overpopulation of very like stereotypical housewives that they were going to try to scare out of their state. Instead, but they'd probably just jump up on chairs and stuff.
I feel like that's the way Mississippi could be.
As they do in cartoons. So what else?
That was
it
for my list. Yeah.
So mouse is as crazy as it gets?
Yes.
Let me tell you something about your list, Brandon. Your list, while an interesting way to compile information, it lacks one thing. You don't lack one thing. I know you got this just coming right out of your pockets. But what your list lacks, creativity. When it comes to Halloween in 2017, we are beyond the ninja generation. We are beyond the dinosaur generation. People who just search for general terms like that, they're left behind. Steve, if you're searching for a ninja costume, you're going to Steve this year because you're just behind. You're not in 2017. You need to live in 2017 like these people that I have found on the internet. I spend a lot of time on goodhousekeeping.com where I can find many costumes, but I remember that I saved the photos. So I'm bringing up this photos on my telephone here so that Brandon can see what I'm talking about.
Today's Take Talk is brought to you by Photographs.
Indeed.
Nature's Pictures.
Sponsored by Photographs. So creativity is what we need. It's 2017. Everyone has been everything before. You cannot get away with just being a person. You can't get away with just being Donald Trump. We talked about this in a video we made for the Campus News folks in New York City, not New York, New York State. You can't just be Donald Trump. You can't just be Pennywise the Clown. You can't just be Dale Jr. Yeah. You have to be that plus something else.
This is the top 3 costumes being searched.
Right.
If you're not going, if you don't want to be political or follow a movie, you're dressed up as Dale Jr.
It's South Carolina, the way it goes. Man. Okay, so I would like to give a couple of examples that I will probably put on the screen here. So my first example, humorous and creative, is Nickelback. No, you do not dress up as a mediocre band that the internet loves to hate. What you do is you take a t-shirt, you take a bunch of nickels, and you glue them to the back. You walk around, people are like, why do you have nickels on your back? And then you say, I'm Nickelback, fool. And they melt because they should have guessed first. That's pretty creative, huh?
Yeah, I feel like you could do the same with quarter as well.
Quarterback. You could be a quarterback.
Pennyback, dimeback.
Yes. The last two don't.
Susan B. Anthony back. Dollar back.
Susan, you have to do Susan B. Anthony front. Susan. I don't know why, but I'm trying to add something to this, what you're trying to say, but I don't have anything to add. Our next one is very humorous. It is called French Kiss. These two ladies, if you can see on the screen, are dressed as your typical French person, carrying the baguette and all. All French people carry a bag. I'm pretty sure French people have baguette holsters. I've never been to France, but I expect baguette holsters when I go over there. But these two ladies are dressed as the band Kiss, but in French garb. They are French Kiss. It's not good enough to just be French or just be Kiss anymore. You got to be both. Our next one is Sugar Mama. This is when you take a bag of sugar, you put it in a papoose, and this is going to require you to be a lady. Again, that may not be politically correct, but in my opinion, the Sugar Mama costume requires a person to be a lady.
I want to point out that earlier when I just glanced and saw that photo, I thought that it was going to be Floby 1 Kenobi. Flo from the Progressive commercials dressed as a Jedi.
And you saw this picture that I'm showing to everyone now?
Yeah, because I just saw I don't know if you. No, you can't. We're not that advanced. I was gonna let you show my photo. On the football games where they circle the play and they're like, you see this linebacker
I don't know if
here.
I know how to do that.
But yeah, I just saw like from here up, and it just looked like Jedi, but looked like Flo.
That's actually really humorous. Kenobi. That is even better.
That's what I'm going as for Halloween this year.
Hey, if you are watching this video and you still need a costume idea, Floby-Wan Kenobi is available.
Man, just send us a photo.
Please do.
Brandon, we'll do a whole series based on you.
I'm so impressed with you right now. Oh, I got a new telephone and I'm trying to figure out how it works. Whoa. All right, here we go. And last but not least is fantasy football. You can go as a Green Bay Packers fan, or you could go as a fairy. Guess what? Both of those are lame by themselves, but together you can be fantasy football. Put yourself a football jersey on. Put yourself fairy wings. Get yourself a wand. your fantasy football, and everyone will be like, "What are you?" And you'll say, "I'm fantasy football," and they'll be like, "Well, duh, of course." So these are my most creative costumes of 2017. Many years in the future from where we currently are. Please feel free to use any of these costumes as well as the ones that Brandon came up with so greatly. Floating on Kenobi.
I feel like we've gotten to a point now to where it's once you start reaching like womanhood or manhood, you start being creative about your like your clothes.
Yeah.
Like all of these people, these people are the ones that are going and Googling stuff. The people who are creative, they don't turn to Google. They go to Bing.
That's right. Bing it.
And so
Bing what matters? What is their slogan?
We're still here. I think that's Bing.
We're not dead yet.
But for me growing up, I feel like a lot of times that's what I went as. Like I wanted to be something creative because I thought, I don't want to just go pay $30 for something. I mean, like,
were you paying $30 for your costume when you were little?
People do that. I wasn't paying for it.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying, did you have the thought process of like 6-year-old Brandon was like, I don't want to pay $30 to be a ninja.
Everyone could be like a Jedi. Like I wanted to be something special. So like my grandparents had bought me a fire suit, but it really wasn't a real fire suit. It was just like a kid's like fire suit.
Sidebar: fire suit is not a suit made of fire, or that looks like it's made of fire. It's what car drivers wear to keep from burning up in the car crash.
Put a photo right there. Bing. So I went as Kurt Busch for Halloween, and it's before I knew that I didn't really like him as a race car driver. But I like the way his truck looked. So I went as him, and people were like, "Oh, look, it's a little drag racer." I was like, "No, I'm Kurt Busch." And they're like, "Oh, look, he's going to drive his car around." I was like, "He doesn't drive cars, he drives a truck. That's why I'm driving truck series hat." And it drove me crazy. And then, later on, I went to a Halloween party, and like a couple of years later, and I went as Elwood Blues. And people there kept on thinking that I was dressed up as a funeral home director. And they're like, "Oh, aren't you cute?" And I thought, first off, like, why won't you ask me? Secondly, why does it make more sense that if you see a guy walking around like in a black suit with sideburns,
fedora,
sunglasses, fedora,
sunglasses
and you think, funeral home director.
Yeah, this 12-year-old kid was thinking, you know what I want to be for Halloween on the one night of the year I get to be someone else? Funeral home director. I just love dead bodies. Brandon, I was opposite because I was never very creative. I was had singular likes back in the day. I've probably at least 6 years running. I was a ninja. Whatever the This
is the previous 6 years.
Yeah, whatever what's his name on Scorpion on Mortal Kombat. Whatever the knockoff of him was at Party City that year, I wanted to be a ninja. So I was Scorpion from Mortal Kombat with with white New Balance tennis shoes on. I was that. I remember I was Zorro one time.
I was Zorro, but I think I was also like the knockoff of Zorro. Like
definitely.
Poro?
Zorbo.
Yeah, whatever the Walmart one was.
What else was I? I actually dressed up as Jake Blues one time, but not for Halloween.
We could have been at the same Halloween party. But you just said that you didn't just with Halloween.
I was the ninja in the corner.
I made that joke before you opened the oven.
Really?
Yeah.
Did I miss it? I feel like
multiple times I've said, "Oh, we could be now." Oh, you just made the comment that you didn't do it for Halloween.
Right. Yeah. We really should dress up as Jake and Elwood Blues. I'm the short and pudgy one. You're the tall and Elwoody one. Yeah. So I was in that party. I was the ninja in the corner, scoffing and saying, "Look at that funeral home director." As I looked around with all the other 20 ninjas at the party. I was also a Charmander one time.
I could picture that.
Yeah. Well, folks, we hope you learned something today. We hope you learned a little bit about search analytics from Brandon. We hope you learned a little bit about how to be creative when you're making your Halloween costume. And we hope you learned a little bit about us. What makes us tick. Tickety tock. Brandon, do you have anything else to say before we end this video?
Chalk and boards go together.
Why would you say that? That doesn't make any sense.
I think it makes a lot of sense.
That kind of makes me almost sick to think about you saying that at the end of our show. Oh boy. Alright, we'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.